Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with another day in the classroom. And this time, this topical area is going to be about YouTube. It's going to be about harassment and cyberbullying. It's going to be about community guidelines. Because there's been a bit of a situation that's occurred in the past couple of days, and I'm just going to be real over here. The results of this situation and the results of, the various outcomes, all of that, it has confused me a lot. And I think when you see all of the details as well, it's probably going to confuse you a lot too. So I'm using this as an opportunity to actually just go ahead, right, and clarify what constitutes as harassment and cyberbullying in the YouTube space. Because some people, they might not actually know, because I actually did it myself. So first things first, some details. Right? Why? I kind of already gave the why. Recently, I violated the YouTube community guidelines with this video over here. It was titled GG 1v9, basically me going up against a couple of other content creators, going through dispelling some of the lies and misinformation that's been peddled about me over the past 48 hours. Something that happens very frequently in the YouTube space when somebody makes defamatory comments towards you, misconstrues your points, misconstrues your video, so on and so forth. You make a response video to clarify it, right? That's what I did over here. But it just so turns out I violated, in the process of making this video, I violated the harassment and cyberbullying policy. So first things first, I want to show you some videos on YouTube made about me, right? Because I told you, this is a response video. This 1v9 GG video, it's a response video to other videos CCs have made. Let me show you guys. Let me show you what is allowed on YouTube and what doesn't get removed and what doesn't violate the policy. This is what's not considered cyber harassment and bullying. The most toxic Arknight CC gets his holes gapped by SkullCJay again. So another creator, this is the one I was responding to, right, is allowed to basically say that they are figuratively raping me in their thumbnail, and it is allowed. Yep, they are basically allowed to say that they are figuratively raping me in their thumbnail, and it is allowed on YouTube. But me responding to that is not. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. That is currently the status of the situation. This creator's video is still up with all the content in it with this thumbnail. And my video, which was made in response to these videos, is what got removed. So that's just example number one. There's more, don't worry. My video was made in response to multiple videos. So now here's the second thumbnail. St. Tontus might be in the Epstein files, and my face is photoshopped over Ghislaine Maxwell. That is also allowed on YouTube. That is also okay. You are allowed to take other CCs, imply that they are in the Epstein files, and then Photoshop their face over a sexual predator. That is allowed. That does not violate the harassment and cyberbullying policy, but this does. So remember, right, I said I was making this video as an educational opportunity for CCs because a lot of you might be looking at what I just showed and be confused, right? You might be like actually confused as to like how this even happened, right? Because again, these are all videos that are still up. These are all videos that I have asked to be reported because of the contents in them, and they're still up, they're still there, and mine is the one that gets taken down. So, yeah, this is okay. This is basically the green light, creators, from YouTube that you're allowed to do this. And obviously, right, you can bait people into responding to you. Then you can use that as an opportunity to take down their channel. Very, very, very cool tactics that we're seeing, right? Very, very, very advanced meta over here on YouTube. But don't worry, guys. You can see there are some empty spots. There's more. You can then go ahead and basically, right, just in your thumbnails, you might be wondering about the context over here. So you're like, say, that's not you. That's just a random Asian guy, right? That's clearly not meant to be you. Let me just actually direct you to the number of times that SkullCJay has referred to me, right? And used this Asian man's image in reference to me. Those are the same guy, and clearly he's referring to me by name. So this is a thumbnail of me basically getting a forcefully inserted into a character of mine's mouth. And that's okay too. That's also okay as well. You're allowed to do that. And if you want further evidence, right, refer to me again and also puts the same Asian man. You can see it's 3 times in the past 3 days. And then if you want to actually look at the channel further and keep going down, right? Well, oh, you got one over there again. You got, what else? What is it? What is it over here? You got that one over here from 11 months ago. That one from 11 months ago as well. You also got that one from 9 months ago. And, what else? What is it? Oh, we got this one from 11 and that one from 11 too. So he's using the same Asian guy in all of those thumbnails, right? Clearly it's in reference to me because I am referenced by name every time. And, well, like I said before, it's okay to just literally put a dick in the mouth. And yeah, that's just allowed. Because the videos are still up, right? I just showed all of these videos still up and they're just allowed to be there. So where else are we going over here? Where else? I think there's another one. Oh, right. This is probably going to be the one that's, yeah, I know. I think I remember why I saved this one for last. Yeah, you're just allowed to call people dumpsters. That's also not considered harassment and cyberbullying. You could just refer to them as a dumpster in your thumbnail and also in the title. Remember, these are all not considered harassment and cyberbullying. I just wanted to clarify that for everybody here because that is currently the truth. That is currently the truth. This is the state of YouTube right now. Now let's keep moving forward. Why is this important? You might be wondering. It's like, oh, say you just got a video removed. No big deal. I received a strike for responding to those videos about me. I received a strike because I dared to respond to them. This was my first ever strike, so it's just a warning. That's why you're seeing this video on YouTube right now. The real first strike is 7 days with no uploads, live streams, or posts. You also kind of lose your spot in the algo. It can be a death sentence for channels. The second is 14 days. That's obviously longer and does more damage. The third is a permanent channel removal, which is obviously, it's done, it's gone, right? Clearly, this is a serious issue. And this presentation is being made so that creators can find out the right way to do things. Because clearly I'm doing things the wrong way, right? And these creators are doing things right. Because they didn't get struck. None of their videos got removed. All their videos are up, and my video is the one that got removed. So clearly what they're doing is the right thing to do, and what I'm doing is wrong. And so I just wanted to educate the community about the truth of the matter. So now let's read what is harassment and cyberbullying, right? Surely we need to figure out what the policy is. Content that contains unwanted sexualization isn't allowed on YouTube. This includes, but is not limited to, content that describes someone in a lewd, degrading, and sexually explicit manner. You might be a little bit confused about the definition over here in the thumbnails you just saw, right? That's the thing, right? I guess it's just like, I don't know, like, maybe it's just... sometimes it applies, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe it's like, oh, only the video that reacts to it actually carries the weight of the original video. Like, it's like I'm dying for that video's sins. I'm like Jesus. I don't really know, right? Because you would imagine content that describes someone in a lewd, degrading, and sexually explicit manner, kind of like, that's probably like a good summary of this, right? Like, content that describes someone in like a lewd, like, sexually explicit, like, right? Most people would agree with that. But this is the thing, guys. Those videos aren't breaking policy. Those thumbnails don't violate this policy. They just don't. Because the videos are still up. The videos are still there. And it's been weeks since they've been uploaded. And it's just like, he's allowed to keep making them. And other creators in the space, right? They're being inspired by this. Let me show you how inspired other creators are getting by the pioneering work of SkullCJay. Let me pull you a great excerpt from one of his live streams that kind of like shows how the space is transforming live as a result of these new discoveries from him. Based off the efforts of SkullCJay to pioneer in this space, this is what other CCs think about when you Photoshop CCs onto sexual predators. Let's hear this.
You should be able to tell your
CJ, the
friends.
thumbnail with the Epstein is crazy, dude. Change it.
You got one creator over here telling CJ, yo, dude, like putting a guy, like photoshopping somebody's face over sexual predators like crazy. You should change it, man. Like that's not okay, right? There's one guy doing that. But then listen to another CC that's on the call that's obviously, right, seeing what Skull's doing and is getting inspired. Let's hear this.
Absolutely. No.
Honestly, no. Make another one.
Yeah.
Make another one.
I made another.
Double down. So clearly, this is what's becoming acceptable in the space. It is now the new YouTube meta to essentially aggro other CCs by repeatedly making some of the most heinous thumbnails possible, bait a response out of them, and then once you do, right, once you do bait that response out of them, well, brother, you gotta hit them with this, because they dare talk back to you. They dared actually address your takes, and I guess in the process of addressing your takes, you're gonna end up addressing their misinfo and their absurd thumbnails and their absurd videos. You're gonna end up violating the policy. And you want to know what the best thing is about this, guys? I'll show you what the violation is very soon. I'll show you what it is very soon. So yeah, that's how the space has changed. That's what other CCs are beginning to think now, as a result of SkullCJay. Now let's see what an actual example is, because they gave me the timestamp. Thankfully, YouTube gave me the timestamp so I could figure out what got me moderated, what got me violating the guidelines. Let's see. The deleted video is here. It got re-uploaded, and it's been live longer than mine. Mine was live for 4 hours before it got deleted. This is live for 7, so this has been live for longer than my actual video was. 3 more hours, actually. Which is just interesting in itself, right? Once you think about it, that this one stays up for longer than... Anyways, right? 13:49, right? And let's play, like, the last 30 seconds, like, a couple of seconds before so we can get the full context, right? And remember, 13:49 is where it occurs. About how great he is that he has a big-ass... Remember, this is the guy who's grandstanding about how bad it is that I said he was gay. He made a whole tweet virtue signaling about how I'm homophobic. And the first thing he says when he's saying, Tech, I'd be so good for you, is he talks about how big his dick is. So, I got community striked for saying he has a big dick when I am quoting SkullCJay himself.
First off, we can't swap places because I'm too sexy. I got a big ass.
I quote him. And I get community striked for quoting him. His content is so crazy, me repeating it got community striked. And guys, the appeal got denied. Literally, I think an AI looked at it, just saw, oh, this guy said he has a big dick. He must be harassing him. This is unwanted. I am quoting his own words as he proceeds to spread misinformation about me for 5 minutes. He's just lying about me for 5 minutes, and so I dissect his take. I dissect his take to expose how it's misinfo. And then, because I quote what he said, it gets flagged by YouTube for violating the community guidelines, and now I have a strike and the video is removed. Guys, that is what happened. That is the situation. That is how f***ed the YouTube moderation appeal reporting system. Dude, I quoted the creator who has been harassing me for weeks. Literally, by your own guidelines, YouTube. This creator is harassing and cyberbullying me. I quote them in a reaction video, and I get striked. And you want to know what the best part about this is, guys? This is really gonna f you up when you see this. I had to take a training for this video. I had all of these thumbnails made about me, and I had to take the training. I took the policy training. After all of those I took the policy training. Bro, I'm going to be honest. I'm just gonna be real here. This is like somebody getting raped and they go to jail. I'm just gonna be honest. That's what it is. I don't fucking care. That is what it is. I'm the one that's taking the training? I'm the one that's taking the training here. How am I taking the training? I got shot and I'm getting... Bro, okay, how about... We'll scratch out that other one, right? We'll use murder instead. I'm sure that's going to be a way more relatable one. This is like a police officer getting called to the scene of a knife crime. A stabbing. And then they arrest the victim because they're covered in more blood. Well, this guy has more blood on him than the other guy. He must be the assailant. Is that better? Great. We use somebody dying instead. Okay, let's take a step back. Let's do assault instead. You get punched in the face by somebody random on the street, and then the police arrest you afterwards, and then the other guy's nowhere to be found. Whatever it is, this is the reality of what occurred. I got community striked because I quoted the creator who has been literally harassing me for the past 3 weeks. What they say is so ridiculous and so absurd that me merely quoting them is what got community striked. And then I now have to take a training. I took a training. I took a training at like 1 a.m. yesterday because that's when I got struck. I took a training at 1 a.m. yesterday. And guys, remember, I took the training. I am the one that took the training. I had to take the policy training. And now I have a warning for 90 days. And my appeal was also denied because I quoted the guy who's been making videos like this about me. I quoted him. I quoted his words verbatim. Literally verbatim. There's proof. You saw it. Literal proof. I'm just quoting him verbatim. So yeah, that's the current situation right now, boys. All right. Obviously, we've seen that, wow, I can't believe that's considered harassment and cyberbullying. I can't believe it's not butter, right? How fucking ridiculous is that? So naturally, we need to find out now what is considered harassment and cyberbullying. Quoting a creator is considered harassment and cyberbullying. Yep. Repeating what they said back to them is considered harassment and cyberbullying. And this is the crazy part. I thought it was because I called him gay after he made this thumbnail about me. But now after reviewing the footage, it's because I said he has a big dick. I'm quoting his video. He says it in his own video, and I'm quoting that. And editor, I guess you're going to have to censor the phrase big dick everywhere. Editor, you're going to have to censor it everywhere. Otherwise, this video is going to get struck again, even though I'm still quoting him. I'm still quoting him. To this day, I'm still just quoting him, and it's probably going to get struck again. Good lord, dude. I guess the term big dick is banned. So, you might be wondering, all right, Saint, you're giving me a lot of advice, right? But how about some actual direction, right? I need a guide. You're a guide maker for Wuthering Waves, right? You know all about meta picks. What is the new YouTube meta? What skills should you be maxing? What is the new team comp you need to run to be the most successful in this currently evolving space? And I prepared just the guide for you. Are you ready? It's a step-by-step process. Everyone should be able to follow it, though. 1. Create an inflammatory misinformation field hit piece on a creator. You have an example from SkullCJay right here. 2nd, if they respond, mass report them. You have now won. Congratulations, that is route A. However, this is a forking road, right? It's a branch. There's a fork in the road. The creator might choose a different path instead. What if they ignore you? So this is where you have to start employing more and more creative strategies. And that's where I'm going to be using SkullCJay's channel as like a baseline to basically formulate the gold standard for what every gotcha, not even gotcha, what every CC on YouTube should be doing from here on out, because their content is not violating the terms of service, but mine is. Let's check it out. You're going to create 8+ videos within 4 days on one creator. 8+ within 4 days on a singular creator. This part is important. You're going to escalate the severity of the thumbnails. I'll show you what I'm talking about over here. You're then going to Photoshop the CC onto sexual predators like Ghislaine Maxwell for an extra damage multiplier. It's kind of like an outro skill. And use sexually explicit language because as long as it's in the thumbnail, I guess it doesn't count as violating the policy. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not super sure. And so this is the 8 videos you need to make and the order of them. Are you ready? Right? That was the first one that we saw. And you're going to notice, oh, now we're saying he's dead, right? Like now I'm dead in the thumbnail, right? So like obviously, right, it's escalating in severity. Like just like I said. Then you're going to say that you're forcefully raping the creator. That is an important one as well. Say that you're going to rape the creator or that you've already done it. Let me show you all over here, right? That's what's being mentioned over here. Say you're going to do that. That's going to be a big bonus point over there if you manage to weave that one in across your 8 vids. And also, the whole hurts to walk thing, nice little extra touch as well. Those are all things that you need to do, right? And the thing is, CJ has changed the title of that vid because it obviously is the most crazy shit ever. But YouTube has a title history, right? So YouTube should actually know, like, that he was saying he's going to figuratively rape me in his title and then probably take the video down, but I guess it doesn't count, right? So that one's good. Then we got number 4. And so you're noticing, like I said before, right? We're escalating in severity every time. So just call him a dumpster. Yeah, just call the other CC a dumpster. Fuck it. Just call him that. You're good. You're allowed to do that. And you won't violate you won't violate the harassment and cyberbullying policy. You won't. Just do that and you won't. Can't forget this one. Photoshop their face onto a sexual predator. Right. That's the one. Right. This one's getting the outro buff. This one's getting the outro buff. And then afterwards, right, keep going. And of course, right, Can't forget the last one. Keep going. That's the new meta, guys. Just harass a creator without violating the harassment and cyberbullying policy until they're forced to respond to you. And then your statements are so crazy, so volatile, that when the other creator quotes you, they will get community struck. You will get community struck for quoting the other creator. So, they're going to be forced to respond. So, obviously, what are you going to do next after they're forced to respond? Because they're reacting to you, and the stuff you say is so crazy that them quoting you is going to get them struck, just mass report them and get them struck. Because, yeah, I violated the harassment and cyberbullying policy, ladies and gentlemen, by quoting him. And we'll replay it one more time, right? To show that it was from literally quoting him.
Can't swap places because I'm too sexy. I got a big ass.
So, first thing he mentions about how great he is that he has a big ass dick. Remember, this is the guy who's grandstanding about how bad it is that I said he was gay. He made a whole tweet virtue signaling about how I'm homophobic. And the first thing he says when he's saying, Tech, I'd be so good for you, is he talks about how big his dick is. And that's enough to get community struck, boys. Remember, this is okay. This is all okay. This is all okay as well. You're allowed to do all of this. So now, right, we're on to this step. And this is where you're going to have to pay close attention to what happens afterwards, right? This has all occurred. This is the present day situation. After your victory, because clearly you have abused the system and you are now on top because you got the guy's video taken down and you still have 8 videos up that are sexually harassing them, right? Send a fake DM to the creator and tell them how awful them getting struck was. I know you won't believe me, but I haven't even gone after your channel like that. I know what it's like to get a channel deleted and how much it hurts, even though you're making fun of me for losing my channel last night. I just had nothing to do with it. I was asleep. I was simply going to shit on you today with another video, dude. I'd rather we sling shit at each other rather than reporting you, man. Hope you can appeal. So send that DM, then forget to hide the evidence of your server's mass reporting, right? Forget to hide that this conversation's happening in your server, and then celebrate your abuse of the YouTube community guidelines with a video like this. That is the new tactic. That is the new YouTube meta, ladies and gentlemen. And hopefully, this guideline, this overview, right? This sort of like meta, this short like meta feature on what creators should be doing from here on out was helpful. Because again, what SkullCJay is doing, everything that SkullCJay is doing, ladies and gentlemen, has been approved by YouTube. It is not reportable. It is not breaking any policies at all. And I am the one that is being punished over here because I took the training. My video got taken down. I have the warning, and it is all for the incredible, absurd crime of quoting his own words in a response video to the misinformation and the lies he has been spreading about me for weeks. And so I guess, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a big CC, I don't think you can just respond to people anymore. I think what's going to occur is that this tactic is just going to be employed on you ad nauseum. And if you dare to try to protect your image in any way, right? If you dare to try to protect your image in any way when it's being used like this, prepare to lose your YouTube channel. Prepare to lose your entire YouTube channel if you don't like stuff like this happening to you. Apparently, but yeah, that's the situation, guys. That's why I have a strike. That's why the video got taken down. Just so you can see, here are all of like the coordinated efforts across the multiple communities. This is about like 5, 6, 7 different images, a bunch of different Discord servers as well that are just coordinating mass reports. You got Captain Cabinets over here. You got SkullCJay's video over there. They're all like coordinating mass reports on my channel. You can see all the different like clips, all the different things, so on and so forth. It's nuts. Right? And it's just really unfortunate that this is something that is, I guess, working. There's not much I can really do about it, unfortunately, because every time I respond, I'm just going to get struck. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I just have to, like, take it, right? Like, I'm not allowed to do anything in this circumstance unless YouTube decides to actually respond, right? And YouTube decides to actually, like, take some sort of action over here, because my hands are effectively, like, tied. My hands are tied due to abuse of the system, and me merely quoting my attackers, is enough to get community struck. And this is okay. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I guess the last thing that we'll do right now is open up the floor to any questions Yeah, because this is a presentation. It is an educational one, so we got to take some time to answer some questions, ladies and gentlemen. What's next? I guess this is the thing. We're going to be making a post on post directed at Team YouTube. We will be detailing, right, the entire situation, right? And we'll kind of like, we're going to move forward from there. You should have looked at the album with more details. This is the thing. We don't even need to bring in like the racism and all of that piece. That could be that could be tackled separately, right? The racism and the pieces like that can be tackled separately. This is about me getting community struck for quoting the people that have been sexually harassing me for weeks in an attempt to dispel the actual real misinformation they've been putting in 8+ videos on me. Well, I guess that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.